All right, are you ready for another story time? Hey, this is Derrick with Playbook Systems. In my newsletter, I talk about some of the stories that I've had as in my time as a consultant, and I was having fun producing that last little video. So I thought I would do another one for you that I sort of alluded to in that last one. I'm actually going to read this to you directly out of my Lean Manager's Playbook book that you can find on Amazon. And this is a fictional account of a lot of different things that I had experienced as a consultant, working in manufacturing, working with software, law firms, hospital systems, all these kind of things. And I've got these all sort of diverse background and experience of applying lean, the method of lean, continuous improvement inside of all these different organizations. Now, this is a manufacturing story and it's quite brief, but it is a fictional account of something that happened, but I actually remember it like it was yesterday when this occurred. And what it is in my last video, I talked a little bit about hustle. And when you see people hustling inside a business, that should be a red flag that something is wrong. And let me explain that to you by reading a little snippet here out of the first chapter. Ben, who is the main character in this book, Ben is a consultant. Essentially, he's an archetype for me in the work that I was doing. It says, Ben entered into the facility, stopped dead in his tracks, and spent a full minute in silence taking inventory of what was happening. Now he's with a group of executives. Did you see that, folks? Asked Ben. Sorry, no. What did you notice? Susan, the CEO, replied. Ben continued. The moment we walked out onto this floor, the whole atmosphere changed. The operator over here to the left raised his hand above his head like he was stretching. And within a minute, other workers all over the manufacturing floor did the same thing. Don't you find that odd, Steve? Steve's the CFO. Not sure, Ben. What do you think just happened? Steve asked. Oh, I'm not thinking anything. I'm just observing. The instant management appeared on this floor, the entire dynamic changed. Look around. The banter among employees has stopped. People look busier. Those who were walking around aimlessly now have brooms or inventory in hand. Watch for a moment. Eyes are on you, and the reason is simple. The employees see you so infrequently that they have their own alert system to let others know when you're out here. Steve, Susan, be honest with me. When's the last time either of you walked on this floor for a reason other than to check on the order, on a status of an order, or the result of some proverbial fire? Last week, last month, last quarter? Now, the book goes on to talk specifically about a method that we use in Playbook Systems called the walkabout. I require any company that I work for or work with, I ask every single manager in the building twice a day to remove their ass from their seat and to physically go down and see where the work is happening. I'm not asking them to do anything other than just walk through the space and make observations. You don't need to talk to people if you don't want to. You don't need to get into any banter. You don't need to specifically look at anything. You just need to be physically present in the workspace. Why is that so important? Well, as I can tell you in other stories that are in this book and in other things, it's amazing when you look at the cameras after the management comes through. If management is coming through all the time, let's say once or twice an hour, people tend to expect they're being watched. I don't want to say watched, but they're being observed, and that management thinks what they're doing is important and it's relevant and it's a reason for them, to pay attention to their work. People only respect what you inspect. Everybody that knows me knows this is like my mantra. People respect what you inspect. If you don't inspect their work, I guarantee you with 100% certainty, they don't really care about it and they're just pushing paper around. I've seen this happen at a financial services company. I was with a CEO one time and I asked him, you have cameras on your floor? Yeah, I got cameras. And I said, okay, now you and I are going to walk through the floor and you're going to follow my lead. And then when we're done, we're going to come back up and look at the cameras. He said, okay, whatever. So we're walking the floor and there was a copier there and there was a bunch of paperwork. And I reached over and I picked up this paperwork and I held it up in front of the two of us. And I pointed at the paperwork and I said, his name was Steve. And I said, Steve, just follow along with me here. Let's pretend like we're very interested in this paper for a few moments. We both looked at it. Oh yeah, well, that's very interesting. And I wonder, yes. And then we laid it down and we left. And then we went back up to his office and I said, now rewind the cameras. Within 30 seconds of the time we left that floor, there were 4 managers over on top of that pile of paperwork, looking at it, trying to figure out what does it mean? Why did they spend so much time looking at this? What were they trying to discern from this? Does this have something to do with our performance? Is this something about how many people we have working? What is it, right? And they were just perplexed. And we watched them for 10 minutes on camera have this entire conversation about this one stack of paper, all because we physically got our asses out of our seats. We walked down on the floor. We allowed people to know that we were inspecting. And they immediately began to respect everything that we inspected. So that's one of those many little stories that I have. I've probably, anybody that went through my AMP workshops back in the day knows I can go on for days about these, but my goal is to create these little snippets so that you can see that lean is not very difficult to do. It's just a process. It's a manual process. It's changing your mindset, changing your approach to the way that you look at your business. And imagine just for a minute, if you're having trouble right now, maybe hiring or getting good quality people, is the problem that you need more people, or is the problem that maybe you just need to pay a little bit more attention? Maybe you've got to get out there and inspect the work a little bit more so that people respect it more and that they want to make the best product possible and they want to get it done in the best time possible, instead of just punching a clock like we talked about in the last story and just walking around all day making it look like they're busy. Okay, well, until next time.